Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Oh Wow, Overcomers with Our Word. Guys, today I wanted to do a really quick video, and especially in this time of us coming out of this retrograde that we've been in, talking about healing from toxic, parasitic people or narcissistic abuse. I recently did a couple of videos on surviving narcissistic mother abuse and how toxic people actually get their hooks into us. The sad reality is, guys, many of us were groomed or indoctrinated to be targets or prey. But healing is our work, and it's an inside job. We have to work through the layers, find the initial wound, and while healing all these open portals, we'll have to be vigilant and on guard while we're doing this soul work. Dealing with these predators kind of reminds me of the story of the temptation of Christ. Scripture says that all that is in the world is lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and pride of life. Christ was tempted in all of those areas, but to no avail. However, Scripture says he was left alone, but for a more opportune time. So what does that say? That oftentimes when we think we've healed a wound, we tend to think the battle is over, and that's the end of things. But guys, know we will be tested. It will come when you least expect it, and often from the people you least expect it from. So how do we start this healing process? It starts simply with forgiveness. And while I say simply with forgiveness, do know that forgiveness is an undertaking. We have to work on forgiving ourselves and others. We first must be able to reflect on the situations that we find ourselves in and look at how we got there. What red flags did we ignore? And whatever we ignored shows us something about ourselves, that we obviously felt something was lacking within us, that we felt it necessary to seek it within someone else, whether it was love, security, acceptance, validation. So what can we trace this current situation back to? And what time in our life did we start feeling this way? And who first made us feel that way? We have to get to the root and then start the process of healing. But the question to ask is, if forgiveness is the key to healing, why aren't we undertaking the process? Why is forgiveness so hard to do? Guys, it's simply because our ego loves to blame and judge others and ourselves to make them or us feel unworthy or miserable. Blaming and judging is low energy. It's us humans at our worst. It's a vicious cycle that keeps us in victim mode, which keeps us from healing because of some benefit, whether an actual or perceived benefit, that we get from repeating that story. We have to leave the conditional thinking to reach for unconditional love, leaving the human level and going inward to the soul level. We have to accept that there's a higher purpose behind everything we experience. And these situations point out places where our souls need consciousness, expansion, or growth. Forgiveness is that soul work that takes us into our divine selves. So can you trace the origins of what you felt you lacked? That's the key to our overall healing, getting to the root of things and not just dealing with the symptoms and places and faces it showed up in and will continue to show up in until we are aware of those triggers. Next, we have to allow ourselves to go through the stages of grief. When we've identified those issues, we have to do whatever we need to do and for however long we need to heal the open wounds. It's okay to cry. It's normal to be hurt when we realize we love someone who didn't love us back. It's okay to be sad or angry when we've been abused, belittled, betrayed, abandoned, neglected. Feeling the emotions is normal, but what we don't want to do is live there. We can transmute the energy from something low and toxic to that of compassion, forgiveness, and love. So what are some of the ways we can transmute this energy? Guys, we can spend time in nature, go to the beach. We can practice journaling, identifying where we saw ourselves as the victim in our situations, and then write down what that looks like. Look at it lovingly, forgive, and then turn those victim statements into power statements for ourselves. We can also listen to music, exercise, Spend time with friends or family, people who truly have your back, who genuinely love and support you. Also, do things you love doing and be around people who love you. Healing the emotional body is necessary. But we also have to know that we are not our emotions, but we need to accept them, embrace them, heal them, and then let them go. Next is acceptance. Accepting the past can only be what it is, that we cannot go back and change it and make it any different. We have to realize that we have no control over others, nor their opinions or their feelings. We can only change ourselves. We have to work on becoming the best versions of ourselves that we can be, our most authentic selves. Guys, two of the most important things we have in this life is our time and our health. And we need to guard, appreciate, respect, and protect that by healing the soul. The more time we spend focusing on bettering ourselves, discovering and doing what we enjoy and love, the less time we'll spend caring about what others think of us. The healthier we become, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, we will find more people of like minds. We have to learn how to find joy again in our lives. What makes our heart sing? Is it traveling, singing, dancing, hiking, knitting, painting? Ask your younger self, your inner child, what you truly enjoy, and then let it come out and play. Finally, guys, we have to keep our power. Alcoholics and former drug users have to protect their sobriety and be careful of the company they keep. As empaths, we also have to guard our hearts and protect our peace. We need to take more time getting to know people before we open our hearts. Watch out for those yellow and red lights that we ran through in our previous experiences. And most importantly, learn to trust ourselves. That's what drew them to us. We become so comfortable accepting others' opinions even when they weren't solicited. We have to become more grounded in who we truly are, not needing the validation or co-signing of others for the decisions we've made for our lives. As we heal, it's tempting to ask others for advice and what steps we should take. But know this, a good coach of any kind asks the right questions to you so that you find the right answers for yourself. Otherwise, anyone telling you what to do is simply you giving your power away again. Although we are all connected with Source, we all have to do our own work and go within. You need no one's permission to be your authentic self, your authentic you. Love yourself well, and then learn to continue to treat yourself well. If you'd like to purchase my book or would like to book a one-on-one coaching session, please check out my website. I'll post the links below. Guys, you're not on your journey alone. There is support on your road to self-healing. So let's overcome. Until the next time, guys, may we all be well.